Hi again and welcome to the channel, and today I'm joined by Domenico.
Hi Craig.
Hopefully you saw my other videos out there about my predictions about 2020 and what I feel's kind of coming up using my psychic abilities.
Yeah, I actually saw that video. It's really interesting, and I saw that you spoke about politics, how the world is going to be in 2020. But have you thought about doing a video about the astrology in 2020? What every sign could expect by this new year?
Yeah, well, I think we can do something like that. This is called sun sign astrology. It started in the 1930s when people used it in the newspapers.
Almost 100 years old.
Yeah. So let's ask me a few questions.
Right, 2020 is not only a new year, but it's even a new decade.
Indeed.
God, it's going to be pretty fun to live.
Yeah.
Great time to be around. That's something that happens only once every 100 years. And we are not only in the new decade, we are in the new decade of the new century.
Yeah, indeed we are.
So it could be a pretty interesting point for astrology.
I think so.
And now to the last sign, last but not least.
Yeah,
Pisces. Fishes.
Yeah.
Fishes.
So Pisces, it has been and continues for a little while to be a little bit of a lonely time for them. They've been quite solitary for a while, Pisces. Their sign does show improvements though in the year. Particularly when we get to the mid-year, when we start to get around the summertime, they start to feel almost unexpectedly, they start to find more people in their lives, much better in the relationship side. They're very sensitive sign, Pisces, so they need the right people around them. So they're coming out of a time when they've been a bit secluded, and by the summer, I suppose you could say they start to swim.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So is there any planetary alignment that will make any change of fishes in 2020?
Well, for Pisces, they've been a bit depressed over the last months, actually, around this Christmas period even as well, for many of them. This has been the influence of Pluto, has a strong effect, and it's still there a little bit. So they've got to, gradually their optimism will start to improve in 2020. They're very affectionate people, they're very sensitive people. This Jupiter retrograde thing also allows them to start to make some corrections to this kind of exaggerated way that they've had to the world. There's been a lot of self-examination with them, a feeling of where they're going. And I feel that this year is going to be a year where they start to feel a lot more optimistic, a lot more driven to become, to start to make something of their lives. Uranus is doing a transit through Taurus during this period of time, and this will give them completely new ways to communicate, and I feel this will help them to communicate with the world, because that's half the problem that they've had, is they became much more introverted, and it's a much more opening of them through this year.
And how about the monetary side? Money side, as we say. How money are going to look like for Pisces? There you go, I said it. In 2020.
Pisces, yeah. How do you say it in Italian then?
Pesci.
Pesci. Okay, Pesci. Pesci the fishy. Rewards come for Pisces during this year. There's a challenging eclipse though in the spring, which can hold them back money-wise. And when this occurs, it can sort of shift their focus quite a lot. When an eclipse comes along, they have to replan their financial strategies at that time of year. But generally, the challenges are not too bad for them. They could be, if they could be a bit more adventurous, they could find more opportunities through new careers and new work. I mean, there's almost been a need for making change for Pisces for a number of years. And now they're beginning to enter a period from now and into further years ahead where they'll be much more adventurous and self-confident. So 2020, they shouldn't play it safe. Go for it in 2020 and try new things, particularly when it comes to making money, careers and things like this. A change for Pisces is as good as a rest.
You said that Pisces have been more the single type of person. But is there going to be any change for them in love in 2020?
Well, really for Pisces during 2020, it's a time of it's not a big priority love for them in 2020. It's really staying married, you'll continue to be married. If you're in a relationship, you'll stay in that relationship. There's more a need for the Pisces during 2020 to have a sort of security in love around them. They're not likely to want to sort of throw reason to the wind and just run away with the gypsies. They're going to be much more settled. And I think that urge for being settled is the main driving force in the love life of Pisces during 2020. Pisces, you felt held back for quite a long time now. You felt on your own for quite a long time now. But be a bit more adventurous. Go for it, because now is your time to find much greater freedom in all areas of your life.
So this 2020 seems to be, is going to be actually a good year for most of the signs.
Yeah, I think an interesting year generally, with some interesting numerology in it as well, because it's the 20th of the 2nd, 2020, and things like that coming up, which we can talk about another time. But yeah, I think an interesting time, and also as through the prediction videos, an interesting time politically, for example.
And people can see your 2020 prediction on the other video you've made.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and there's lots going on
there. There's the link somewhere.
Somewhere up here or over there.
And these predictions were more general, these astrological prediction, this science prediction.
Yeah, I mean, this type of astrology we're doing now is sun sign astrology, they call it. So, but if you want to get something a little bit more in-depth and personalised for you, you can have a look on my website. You'll see it coming up on the screen here somewhere. You can call my readers. They can give you a psychic reading, a clairvoyant reading, or a specifically astrological reading based entirely upon your date of birth and what you do. So just go to the website and call the numbers, and you can get reading right now if you want.
Don't forget to subscribe on this channel.
Yep.
Click the bell so you will be notified for any new video that is coming up. And actually, you were telling me before that you were going to do a better astrological video per each sign.
More in depth.
Yeah,
a bit more in depth for each sign. And we might even later on start looking at some pet videos as well, I was thinking.
The pet astrology.
But some of that might be fun to do. We can get Boo in.
Yeah.
And what about your channel? Because you're doing this new thing when you've been filming all this with these cameras and things. And
yeah, if you are interested in making these videos, or if you are interested in photography, videography, filmmaking, you want to start your own YouTube channel. Well, I got my channel. The link is in the description. I'm the Italian Dad. It's pretty simple to find.
And it's fun and interesting. And you can see some of the bloopers we make sometimes and the things that go right and go wrong and how we do it.
And I show especially how you can make all these on a budget, on a really tight budget. Because not many people can go out and buy a £25,000 or $25,000 camera. But in my videos and in my channel, you will see how you can make these videos with less than £500 or less than $500. I already have a video on which camera to buy if you just want to start and spend less than $500 or £500 between the camera, the lens and the microphone. That will get you started. So just go down in the description for the link and subscribe to it.
And talking about budgets, you can help us if you become a patron of this site, because we're trying to do something really special with this channel, as we've already said. You know, we're trying to get our own studio and places where we can work and transmit all sorts of interesting stuff to you that have never been done on YouTube before. Something unique, a community of spiritually minded people working together.
And we're trying to help even children in needs.
Indeed.
With the Patreon.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then we do a lot of charitable work as well. And we'll keep you updated with that through the channel as well, through 2020. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. And do keep subscribing. And thank you for supporting us over 2019. And all of you, no matter what sign, do have a good 2020. Life is what you make it. It doesn't matter about the planets and stars. It's us that make the changes in the world and can make our life happy.
Happy New Year, people.
Happy New Year.
Ciao.
Bye.
My wife Jane and I do our public work for free. We raise money through the theatres to raise money for our Hamilton Parker Foundation. This is a not-for-profit company that is soon to be registered as a charity. Now, our work is going in to help with the objectives of this charity, but you can help us as well by becoming what we call a patron of this channel. Now, as a patron, you'll get, first of all sorts of really interesting benefits. You'll have a sort of behind the scenes look at what goes on with our work. You'll get videos before other people. You'll get new videos. You'll get all sorts of benefits that are explained in the patron website, and it has various tiers that you can subscribe to. So you can subscribe to just a little bit and get a few benefits, or you can subscribe a lot and get a lot of benefits. And what this means is that we can raise some money through this channel. Now, this money's not going to me and Jane to give us a fancy lifestyle. This money is going into our foundation that has some fantastic objectives. Now, the first thing we want to do with the foundation is, first of all, get a cyber center together, a cyber temple, as it were, a place where we can introduce new people to you through this channel. So by supporting this channel and giving something to the as a patron, you will find that this channel will start to get better and better content with more and more interesting things going on. We'll be able to get the cameras, we'll be able to have the space, we'll be able to have the right setting where we can build the energy to do things such as mediumistic circles and so forth online. But also our work extends further than that, because we are hoping ultimately to build a spiritual center, a psychic ashram, as it were, where people like you can come to visit and take part in an interactive way through this channel as well. But also we are doing a lot of what we call spiritual service. We are going out and giving a large part of the income we generate to people in India who are destitute. We've given to schools, we've fed children that are in need, we've helped mentally handicapped people, we've given cows to old people in India. Some of all this you'd have seen in my movie Mystic Journey to India on Amazon. But all of this is part of our mission, part of our remit to help the world. Because we're not only trying to find our divine nature, we're also trying to live what we learn and express it in ways that are really beneficial to the world. So if you follow this channel, but more importantly, if you become a patron of this channel, you can help us to take this whole mission onto a much higher level than any psychic work has ever been done before.